Have you ever found yourself waking up one morning, looking in the mirror and thinking, when did I start feeling this old? Not just in the lines on your face or the stiffness in your knees, but deep down your energy, your spark, your rhythm. It's a feeling many of us experience as we get older. The days move a little slower, sleep isn't quite as restful, and things that once felt easy now seem like they take twice the effort. But here's the truth, and I want you to hear this clearly. Getting older doesn't mean giving up on feeling good. In fact, it's the perfect time to start feeling better. To take back control, build strength, find joy, and create habits that help you thrive, not just survive. Because every new sunrise brings a new opportunity, and age is not a limit. It's a launch pad. Now, I know when we hear the word habits, it can sound a little intimidating, can't it? Like something strict or complicated. But today, we're not talking about drastic diets or running marathons. No, we're talking about simple, practical habits, ones that fit into your life, no matter where you're starting from. Small steps that, when practiced consistently, can transform the way you feel body, mind, and spirit. In this video, we're going to explore how you can build healthy habits after age 60, habits that are kind to your body, gentle on your mind, and nourishing to your soul. You don't need expensive equipment, fancy routines, or to be in perfect shape to begin. You just need a willingness to take one step at a time. Let's start with something most people underestimate: hydration. Now, you might think, oh, I drink plenty of fluids. But let me ask you, how often is that a cup of coffee or tea or even soda? Our bodies, especially as we age, become more sensitive to even mild dehydration. And the tricky part, the thirst signal gets weaker as we grow older, so by the time we feel thirsty, our body's already running on empty. Drinking enough water isn't just about avoiding dryness or fatigue. It helps with digestion, joint lubrication, brain function, and even mood. Yes, mood. Have you ever felt irritable or tired for no clear reason? Sometimes it's not stress or aging, it's just your body begging for water. So, here's a gentle habit to build. Start your morning with a glass of warm water. Before the coffee. Before breakfast. Just that one glass sets the tone for your entire day. Then, find ways to sip throughout the day. A small glass after every bathroom trip. A bottle on the table while reading. Let it become part of your rhythm, just like brushing your teeth. Now, while we're speaking of mornings, let's talk about movement. And no, I'm not suggesting AM boot camp, but think about this. Our bodies are designed to move. Movement keeps the joints lubricated, the heart pumping, the lungs expanding. But most importantly, movement reminds us we're still alive. The problem is, many people stop moving as they get older, not because they want to, but because they feel like they can't. Maybe the knees hurt, the back aches. Maybe there was a fall or a surgery. But here's a gentle truth. Doing nothing makes it worse. The more we sit, the stiffer we get. The less we move, the more fragile we feel. But just a few minutes a day can change that. You don't have to go far. Start with a gentle stretch in the morning. While still in bed, roll the ankles, stretch the arms overhead, take a few deep breaths. Then, maybe a short walk around the house or in the garden. If balance is a concern, hold on to the counter or use a chair. The goal isn't to sweat, it's to wake up your body. Movement is a message you send to yourself. I still care about me, and when you care for your body, it responds with energy, with flexibility, with ease. I met a gentleman not long ago. He's 74. He told me he started walking around his block every morning, just once around, nothing dramatic. At first, he was out of breath halfway through. But now, He goes 3 times, and he doesn't even need to stop. He says it's not the physical strength that surprised him, it's the clarity in his mind, the sense of purpose he feels. And that's the magic of movement. It doesn't just heal the body, it lifts the spirit. And speaking of spirit, let's pause for a moment to talk about something even more subtle, but just as powerful: mindset. What you say to yourself matters. The beliefs you hold about aging, about what's possible, shape the life you live. If you've been telling yourself, "I'm too old to start," or "it's too late to change," I want you to gently let that go. Let it go like an old coat that no longer fits. Because the truth is, you're not too old. You're just wiser. You've lived through storms, celebrated joys, and carried more than many will ever know. And now, you have the power to choose how you want to feel every day going forward. This is where habit becomes more than just action, it becomes identity. When you start saying, "I take care of myself, I'm worthy of health," or even just, "Today, I choose life," something shifts. This doesn't mean you'll never have hard days. Of course, you will. We all do. But healthy habits aren't about being perfect. They're about having tools, little anchors that bring you back when you drift. A walk, a glass of water, a kind word to yourself. These are acts of self-respect. And every time you choose them, you're building a new foundation, not just for your health, but for your happiness. Now that we've talked about hydration, gentle movement, and the power of mindset, let's move into a space that many people overlook, especially in later years. It's something that's deeply tied to both physical vitality and emotional balance: your relationship with food. Now, I'm not talking about strict diets or counting every calorie. I'm talking about nourishing your body in a way that feels joyful, balanced, and natural. After 60, the way our body processes food changes. Our metabolism slows down, digestion can become more sensitive, and our needs for certain nutrients increase, especially protein, fiber, calcium, and healthy fats. But here's what's important. Food is more than just fuel. It's comfort. It's connection. It's culture and memory. And it should never feel like a punishment. The key is to approach eating as an act of care, not control. Instead of thinking, "What should I cut out?" ask yourself, "What can I add in to feel better?" Maybe it's starting your day with a bowl of warm oatmeal topped with fresh fruit and a handful of nuts. Maybe it's choosing whole grain bread instead of white. Maybe it's swapping a sugary snack for a slice of avocado on toast. These aren't restrictions. They're gentle upgrades, little choices that, over time, help your body feel lighter, more energized, more in sync. And if cooking feels overwhelming, that's okay too. You don't need to prepare gourmet meals. A simple soup with vegetables, beans, and a drizzle of olive oil can be both healing and satisfying. Keep it simple, keep it colorful, and most importantly, keep it enjoyable. If you're eating alone, make the moment special anyway. Use a nice plate. Sit by a window. Play your favorite music. These small acts tell your body and mind, "This matters. I matter." Now, let's talk about something we don't often include in health conversations, but it plays a huge role in our well-being: sleep. Sleep after 60 can be tricky. You might find yourself waking up in the middle of the night or rising before the sun without feeling rested. This isn't just annoying, it affects your mood, your energy, your memory, and even your immune system. But the good news is, you can improve your sleep without medication. It starts with creating a routine your body can trust. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Create a calming wind-down ritual, maybe a warm bath, some soft music, or a few minutes of deep breathing. Avoid screens an hour before bed if you can, and keep the bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. There's also something deeply healing about light. Natural sunlight in the morning helps reset your internal clock. So if you can, step outside each morning, even if just for a few minutes. Let the sun touch your face. Feel the air on your skin. Breathe in the day. These moments may seem small, but they anchor your body's rhythm. And over time, they help your sleep become more peaceful, more nourishing. But let's not forget sleep isn't just about night. Rest during the day matters too. It's okay to pause, to nap, to sit quietly and do nothing. In a world that often glorifies busyness, remember this: rest is not laziness. It's medicine. It's where your body repairs, your heart slows, and your mind recenters. And after 60, rest isn't optional, it's essential. Another habit that often goes unnoticed is connection. As we grow older, our social circles sometimes shrink. Friends move away. Loved ones pass on. Children become busy with their own lives. And that quietness can slowly turn into loneliness, something many people don't talk about, but deeply feel. But being alone doesn't have to mean being lonely. Connection comes in many forms. It might be calling an old friend just to say hello, joining a local group or class, even online, volunteering, sharing a hobby, or simply chatting with a neighbor. And sometimes it's as simple as making eye contact and smiling at a stranger during your morning walk. If that feels difficult, if anxiety or sadness is keeping you from reaching out, please remember, you're not alone in this. Many others feel the same way. It takes courage to break the silence, but every time you reach out, you plant a seed of community. And when you build habits around connection, even in small ways, you nourish your emotional health as much as your physical. I once spoke with a woman in her late 60s who started attending a poetry reading group at her local library. Not because she loved poetry, but because she missed hearing other voices. That group became her lifeline. Every week, she had something to look forward to. People to listen to. People who listened to her. That, she told me, was the habit that changed everything. And that brings me to something even deeper. A habit that doesn't require movement or food or even words, but has a profound impact on your health: gratitude. Now, I know that might sound a little soft or abstract, but stick with me for a moment. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thought that comes to mind? Is it worry? Regret? Fatigue? What if, instead, you began each day by thinking of one thing, just one, that you're thankful for? It doesn't have to be big. Maybe it's the way the morning light hits your curtains, the scent of your coffee, a memory of someone you love. These little moments of gratitude are like drops of calm in the bucket of life. They lower stress. They ease anxiety. They remind you of what still matters, even when life feels uncertain. And when practiced regularly, they become a powerful habit, a way of seeing the world with softer eyes. You might try keeping a small notebook beside your bed. Each night, write down one good thing from your day, or say it out loud if writing feels like a chore. What matters is the pause, the moment of appreciation. And over time, those moments add up. They become part of who you are. So now, we've explored the habits of hydration, movement, mindset, nourishment, sleep, connection, and gratitude. Each one simple on its own, but together, they create something truly powerful, a life that feels more awake, more balanced, more you. These are not the habits of someone trying to rewind the clock. These are the habits of someone embracing this chapter of life with courage, wisdom, and grace. And with that in mind, there's one more layer to explore: a space where health, purpose, and personal growth come together, a space where health, purpose, and personal growth come together. Because as much as we talk about habits of the body and mind, there's another layer that deserves attention: the habit of meaning. After 60, many people ask, what now? Retirement may have come and gone. The kids are grown. The old routines have shifted. And suddenly, there's this wide open space that can feel freeing or frightening. But here's a beautiful truth. This chapter of life can be a rebirth, a time to rediscover your passions, to shape your days with intention, and to live with purpose, not pressure. You don't need a grand mission or a dramatic transformation. Purpose doesn't have to look like changing the world. Sometimes it's as simple as waking up with something to care for. A plant, a pet, a morning walk, a neighbor who looks forward to your wave. One gentleman I met told me he never saw himself as an artist. But at 72, he started painting again just as he did in childhood. He painted birds at first, then flowers, then the faces of people he missed. I didn't even know I had all this in me, he said. That habit of expression, of creation, became his lifeline. His mornings had color again, not just on canvas, but in his spirit. You see, habits aren't only about health metrics or checklists. They're about coming home to yourself, about paying attention to what makes you feel most alive and then choosing to bring more of that into your life, a little each day. Whether that's through writing, gardening, mentoring, traveling, learning a new language, or simply sitting quietly and watching the sky shift colors. And yes, it's never too late to learn. In fact, the brain thrives on newness. When you learn something unfamiliar, whether it's a dance step or how to use a new app, your brain builds new pathways, helping you stay sharp, curious, and mentally agile. Learning is a habit too, one that feeds the soul as much as the mind. Now, let's talk about a habit that may sound a little surprising, but has a profound effect on both physical and emotional health: forgiveness. Over the decades, we collect more than just memories. We collect wounds, regrets, old hurts, and sometimes those feelings stay with us like heavy luggage we've forgotten how to set down. But forgiveness doesn't mean pretending nothing happened. It doesn't excuse the pain. It means choosing, for your own peace, to stop carrying what no longer serves you. It's a habit of release, of softening the grip on old stories so they don't control your today or your tomorrow. Sometimes the person we need to forgive is ourselves, for the choices we didn't make, the things we didn't say, the paths we didn't follow. But hear this: you did the best you could with what you knew then. And now you have the power to live the next part of your story differently, lighter, freer. And that brings us to perhaps the most important habit of all, the habit of kindness. Not just toward others, but toward yourself. After 60, your body may change. Your energy may fluctuate. Your face may carry lines you once wished away. But every single mark tells a story of life lived, of love given, of challenges overcome, of beauty earned. So be gentle with yourself. Speak to yourself the way you'd speak to someone you love. When you make a mistake, don't scold. Offer yourself understanding. When your energy dips, don't push. Offer yourself rest. When you look in the mirror, don't search for flaws. See the strength that got you here. Kindness is a daily habit. It's in the way you stretch your limbs in the morning, in the way you make your tea, in the way you honor your needs without apology. And the beautiful thing is, kindness is contagious. The more you offer it to yourself, the more naturally it flows to others. I've spoken with people in their 80s and 90s who say the biggest gift of aging isn't wisdom or time, it's clarity. The kind that whispers, this is what matters: connection, health, joy, peace, gratitude, love. These are not luxuries. These are lifelines. And every healthy habit you build is a way of saying, I choose life. I choose presence. I choose to keep showing up as fully as I can. So if you're wondering where to start, here's the truth. You already have. By being here, by listening, by caring enough to ask, how can I take better care of myself now? That question is the beginning of everything. And every day from here on out is a chance to begin again. Not perfectly, but gently, bravely, honestly. There's no deadline, no fixed path. Just you, your breath, your body, and the steady unfolding of this remarkable life. Because make no mistake, your life is remarkable. And it's worth tending to with all the love and intention you can offer. So here's to the habits that heal, the habits that hold us, the habits that help us become who we already are: strong, wise, whole. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this message spoke to you, I'd love to hear about your own journey. What habits have helped you most? What's one small change you're inspired to make today? Let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like more support, encouragement, and honest conversation about living fully after 60, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Together, we can build a space of warmth, wisdom, and growth, one gentle habit at a time. Here's to your health, your joy, and your beautiful path ahead. You've earned it.